It's been a while, so I wanted to do something completely different. And we're going to get started on an oil-based clay. We're going to be using monster clay. And I like to put these flanges. These flanges are, they're easy just to kind of hold the clay up. I'm not going to build an intricate armature. I'm putting some WD-40 down because that keeps it from rusting on the flange. You don't have to do that. And using some armature wire and some aluminum foil, we're going to bulk up the majority of the figure. This is going to be a small head. And I'm just going to wrap aluminum foil because that gets rid of a lot of the clay that we need, and it also keeps the sculpture nice and light. Now, one of the mistakes I keep making is I put too much aluminum foil, and then I have to remove it in the process. So I'm using monster clay, and I put the monster clay in the microwave for about 4 minutes. It's kind of cold here in the DC area, so even my studio gets extremely cold. And after 4 minutes, you remove it, and it feels like putty in your hands. So I'm just going to put a skin over this head. That way I can start building a rough proportions of this alien. Now there's a lot of alien reference out there. I'm going with the grays. The grays are the more standard aliens. So the gray aliens refer to this archetype of alien that's popular in culture, and it represents these beings. So the Greys are depicted as these diminutive, hairless humanoid figures with large and hairless heads, almond-shaped eyes, and slender bodies. And they're often portrayed as having gray skin, hence the name. So the idea of gray aliens gained widespread popularity in the later half of the 20th century, particularly in the United States, through various accounts of alleged alien encounters, sightings, and abductions. The portrayal of grays in popular media, including movies, television shows, and literature, has further embedded them into the public consciousness as an iconic symbol of the extraterrestrial. Aliens are fascinating for several reasons, many of which stem from the innate curiosity about the unknown and our place in the universe. So there's the existential questions, the possibility of life outside of Earth. It raises profound questions about the nature of life itself. Are we alone in the universe? Or are there any other intelligent beings out there? So exploring these questions leads to the contemplation of the origins of life. And the idea of aliens allows us to exercise our imagination and creativity, from depictions of friendly and advanced civilizations to terrifying and hostile invaders. Aliens provide a canvas for exploring a wide range of speculative scenarios. Aliens also invoke a sense of wonder and awe about the vastness and diversity of the cosmos. Considering the billions of stars in our galaxy alone, each potentially hosting planets, the idea that we might not be alone can be both humbling and exhilarating. And there's also the mystery that surrounds the existence of aliens, along with sightings and alleged encounters. It fuels speculation and intrigue. The unknown nature leaves ample room for speculation and conspiracy theories, which I love. So back to the sculpture. Now so many varieties of the gray aliens. A lot of the aliens, they have a kind of traditional head, pointing oblong type of head, but some also spiral into a lizard-like face. So I'm trying to create a little bit more details with the lizard type of face, but as you see, I'm already putting that oblong almond-shaped eyes that's popular. But because I'm so used to sculpting people, it tends to be a little bit more difficult. You have to force yourself to really push that shape because, in a way, they're very caricaturized. We see ourselves as these beings, so the chances that these aliens would look remotely like us would be very rare. I don't think that would be even possible. Like Carl Sagan once said, imagine a human being that lives on Earth, and there's other species on Earth, say a cockroach, completely different, and they both live in the same ecosystem. So the chances that an alien would look remotely like us would be extremely rare. I find working with oil clay to be a little bit more difficult. It's less fluid. And I've noticed that I can move much faster with water based clay. Now, that's due to me having more experience with water clay, but I've done quite a bit of oil clay, so it's not like it's my first time. But it requires a whole lot more work. And it is more convenient to use oil based clay. But water based clay, it feels like you're painting with clay. There's just so much more possibilities. And in a way, water based clay lends itself well to this sort of sculpture because it's as if you're doing a classical type of sculpture with a very different subject. And I think that's what I really like about it. So with the nose, there's different types of noses that I've seen with the aliens. There's the just the two little sockets, the nostrils on the head, or some examples have a lizard type of nose. And some don't have a nose at all. You don't even know where they are breathing in. So you wonder if they have lungs. But I want to create some details. I just don't want to create like a very smooth surface. I still would like to create something a little bit more intricate. The head shape, I am struggling with it because there's a lot of alien reference from the front, but not so much from the side. And you wonder, do they have ear holes in the same place? And most likely they do, if you're going to go with a traditional humanoid UFO type of alien. So I'm building the temporalis a little bit more. Now you can see the profile, and that's the zygomatic. So all of these features that you have from anatomy, they go back and forth. Animals have zygomatics. They have every single anatomy that the humans have, but it's a different structure. So I'm using scraping tools because the scraping tools are much easier to use. And then I have my little metal dental tools that I can smooth out the clay and push it around. When you're working the small, you need to be using smaller tools like this. Adding a crest in the middle of the head, I kind of wanted to create a little bit more of a different style of alien, maybe a little bit more details. So I'm going to add a crest in the middle of the head going backwards, and then that will have plenty of detail. And now I'm going to be working a little bit on the nose. I added a little nose, but I'm still confused if I might just remove it. If I remove the nose, it doesn't look as gray alien to me. So I might add just two nostrils in there. But this nose looks too humanoid, so I'm probably going to change it up in the next video. So we're coming to the end of this series of The Great Alien. I hope you liked this. If you do, you found it educational, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next series of this.